we would act in line with our manifesto to recognise Palestinian statehood. That moment has now arrived. So today, to revive the hope of peace and a two-state solution, I state clearly, as Prime Minister of this great country, that the United Kingdom formally recognises the State of Palestine.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Silver Fox Hot Takes is the channel. Mentioned it before. I enjoy Silver Fox Hot Takes, to be honest. One of my favourite channels. And he doesn't do anything. He just sits here like this and tells you the crack, to be honest. But he does it well. And he seems to know what's going on, and he covers a lot of important topics. I've actually got 2 videos here from him. One's Starmer's Digital ID Wet Dream, and the other one is Starmer making Britain a third world caliphate. So, I seen today on the news on BBC that Britain's recognised Palestine as a state, and we're going to be getting fucking students and refugees. So that's going to go well, isn't it? Everybody knows that's going to go real well with everything that's going on in Israel and Palestine there, considering that we're considered by the left wing and by the Muslims and everybody generally to be on the team of Israel, so I mean, it's utter fucking madness, to be honest. It's utter madness to be on the team of Israel and then let the enemy come here as refugees and as students. I mean, everybody else in the world can see what a fucking ridiculously stupid idea that is, except the government and Keir Starmer, obviously, because they're working to an agenda. I mean, that's got to be obvious to anybody at this point that they're all working to an agenda here. As there is a global plan to fuck us all over till the end of time. And that's what they're doing. That's literally what they're doing. It's got to be obvious to anyone, because there's no logic and no common sense in a lot of the stuff that these people are doing. So, if you've got a brain in your head, you should be able to see that when there's a massive lack of logic in what somebody is doing, then they're doing it for a reason. Because if it's not logic, then there's got to be another reason. And usually logic is why you would do governmental things to make the country better, apparently, or the economy better and things cheaper, and you would logically do things to make things better. So when people do things to make things worse on purpose, then you've got to realise that this is a fucking plan. Do you know what I mean? You've got to realise at some point. So, Starmer making Britain into a third world caliphate. Let's play hot takes here. Again, he's a bit more, well, he's older than me. He's more educated than I am. He knows more words than I do. That's another thing. I don't know a lot of words. I think it's something to do with the autism. I just don't know many words. So, he can put things a lot better than I can, to be honest. That's another side of it. And I do like the channel, so let's hear a little bit from the Silver Fox.
Hi. Welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. I sort of said this one was coming. It's a difficult one. It's not difficult to say, it's difficult to stomach though. Starmer recognising Palestine has got consequences. Really, really bad consequences. Consequences as in the final end and destruction of Britain as we know it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a real important video. I forgot to say this at the start. This is a real important video on 2 levels. The digital ID card is massive, and Silver Fox Hot Takes will tell you that in a moment when we get to that video. But this is also kind of massive as well, and the destruction of Britain, being turned into fucking a Muslim fucking country. Yeah, this is all real fucking important for the future of Britain here. Right here, right now. As Fatboy Slim would say, right here, right now. is the fight for Britain. It's been ongoing already for about, well, it's been going for a couple of years, to be honest. But we're really in the thick of the shit right now. This is the thick of the shit, and if all this shit gets passed, then we're all fucked here. To be honest, we are all absolutely fucked. No one's got a future. We're all going to be poor, living in 3-minute cities in a um, fucking one of them containers. Well, one of them containers that's been made into a shitty little house, and we'll all live in them, and we're not allowed to go fucking nowhere or do nothing. So this is real important, to be honest.
He's already said that should Palestinians apply for asylum, they'll get them. And then they'll be here, and then they'll be given indefinite leave to remain. And then Article 8 will kick in, and so having come here and got indefinite leave to remain, they'll demand that their family joins them, their extended family, so their kids, their parents, all their brothers and sisters, their spouses, their kids. And then they come in, and then they're given indefinite leave to remain. And so they all go, oh, I'll bring my extended family in. Badum, 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 badum. We see how this goes, don't we? You know? Eventually, there'll be 5 million Palestinians here. Gaza will be empty. There'll be no one living there. The Israelis will love it. Oh, look at this. We've got a whole new city. It's great. Just a massive big chunk of Israel that we can use now. Woohoo.
Yeah, I might fuck off and live in Israel. There's got to be some sort of plan here. Maybe America. Although I think that'll get took out by World War III, so maybe not America. Where do we go? Where the hell do we go? How do we get out of this shit? Our own country's gone to fucking bagwash here every day of the week.
Ooh. Of course, 5 million Gazans here, or however many there are. That means Hamas are here. Hamas. Boom. Here they are. Marvellous. Causing mayhem. Demanding this, demanding that, wanting their peace. They want this city. They'll take Birmingham. Birmingham is now the new Gaza. And they'll have their little rat tunnel.
It basically is the new fucking Gaza already. It already is before they even fucking get here.
And they'll be coming out and doing murderous assaults in Britain or whatever. Because that's what they do. They're just loathsome, hate-filled wankers. It's no wonder the rest of the Muslim world don't like Palestine, you know. Egypt built a wall bigger and harder and thicker than the wall that goes between between Gaza and Israel.
Yeah, they don't fucking want them either.
The Egyptian wall's bigger because they definitely don't want them. And there's not one Muslim country in the Middle East that recognises Palestine or wants the Gazans. Israel, as I say, no. Jordan, no. Syria, no. Iraq, no. Iran, for God's sake. And they're mad and they don't want them. Saudi Arabia has said no Muslim country recognises Palestine because the Palestinians are so dangerous. The Saudis are our allies and they're saying don't do this. It really is a dangerous thing to do. America are saying don't do it. Israel is saying don't do it. Now all three of those countries give us a lot of intelligence. Well, they're going to stop because we're now the enemy. We're now friends of Palestine. Israel is going to go, nope, not getting any more. Mossad aren't going to share any more.
Yeah, I mean, we're being pushed into a corner we don't want to be in, to be honest. The British people do not want to be in this corner. So we've got to stop this, and we've got to stop the fucking digital. I mean, the British people, after making, there's only 3 million people in 2 to 3 million people in London last weekend. It's not enough. It's not enough, to be honest. Something needs to be done here because it's all literally crumbling around us here. I feel real sorry for anyone young because, honest to God, but the thing is, the young people aren't clever enough to see what's coming. Do you know what I mean? And honestly, you've got no fucking future in this country. You'll be lucky not to get fucking blown up pretty soon when they're bringing all these fuckers over. Like, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
More information, probably giving it to Palestine, for God's sake. But that's what Starmer wants. He wants that. And you won't be able to get a house in this country because there'll be 5 million Gazans sitting here, jumping the queue and taking every house. Oh, we're going to build 1.5 million houses. Yeah, for Gazans. Not for us. Forget seeing a doctor. Forget getting your kids into school. Forget everything. Nothing. You'll have nothing. And then, of course, it's not just that. On top of that, you've got nearly 30,000 Afghanis here. Some of whom, they've come here because it was so dangerous in Afghanistan. They've actually been home on holiday back to Afghanistan, brought their second wives home with them. They've all been given indefinite leave to remain. And then what happens? Well, now the wives are bringing their brothers and sisters and all that over. Britain's becoming a caliphate. Britain is going to be a Muslim country. Because at the same time, you've got a government now trying to close pubs. We'll put tax on that and tax on that. Let's try and close the pubs. Let's make the rules different. Let's make them harder. Get rid of all the pubs. Because you need it dry. You need a dry state, don't you, to welcome all of the new people coming in thanks to Labour. And they're getting rid of the bucket bookies. They want to put tax on bookies, make it harder for bookies. Because, again, it's against the rules, isn't it? For the new Brits. New Brits don't like gambling. New Brits don't like alcohol. Got to get rid of all of them. And all these calls to ban halal meat because of the painful torture of animals. Oh no, we have to make allowances for it. Okay, so torturing animals is fine. That's fine. Okay, so you think that. Well, that's the future. It's no wonder.
Yeah, that's the future. A military brute stamping on the human face forever, as we've seen with George Orwell there. So yeah, it's a shit show. It's honestly a shit show. It's an absolute shit show. It's a shit show, the likes of which you've never seen and will never see again. But it's going real wrong here, to be honest. It is going real wrong. And even 3 million people, 2 to 3 million people stood up there last week, and the government do not give a fuck and are going to crack on by the looks of it. And recognising Palestine is a massive boob. Look at Silver Fox's face. Silver Fox's face says it everything. That's the face of the decision to recognise Palestine. That face right there. The face of shock and horror is the face. That is the face. So, we'll move on to the digital ID and Silver Fox hot takes yet again. If you haven't subscribed to Silver Fox, go and get yourself over, because he really is a good channel, as you can see. He's intelligent, he discusses the issues. Quite funny as well, he's funny at times, I'll play this though, but this is kind of even more important, and I can't articulate how important this is as well as Silver Fox Takes does here, to be honest.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes, and people have asked me about this today, and I was always going to be doing the story. It was just about getting around to it. Starmer, digital IDs, terrible idea. How bad an idea are digital IDs? Digital IDs. Well, before I get into this story, I'm just going to tell you something now. If ever everyone in this country has to get together, put all differences aside, all political differences, racial differences, class differences, income differences, anything, and stand as one firm, united people. This is it. This is the point that we, as a nation of all shades, religions and everything, say no. Digital ID is an incredibly evil idea because it isn't showing you who you are. You've got a passport for that. You've got a driving license for that. You've got a bank card. Hell, you've got an electricity bill with your name and address on it for that. They're all good enough to open a bank account with. The digital ID is so that the government can control you. Make no bones about it. That's what this is. It is the removal of all freedom. You go shopping. Oh, that's too much meat, sir. We've been advised on your digital ID that you're only allowed to buy this amount of meat this week. Or, no, you can't buy that flight, sir. Your carbon footprint this year is already too big. Or, I'm sorry, sir, we're not allowed to sell you anything because you said something on social media that the government didn't like. That's what digital ID is. You don't need digital ID. Just use your normal ID, like I say. And I'm going to tell you how bad this is and how offensive it is that even the Labour Party are having an absolute meltdown over it. Last night, Starmer was facing such a backlash from his own MPs over this. His own MPs, are calling this an utter dystopian disaster. That's his own party. Every other party's against it, except maybe the Greens, because, you know, they're dumb. Now, the Prime Minister has said that he wants to come up with an idea because he was desperately thrashing around for a solution to the small boats crisis. I'm going to tell you now, that is a lie. That is a bullshit lie. The man is standing there and lying to your face, lying to everyone's face. And we know it's a lie because a retired civil servant who is now free to speak has said he has been working on this policy for over 4 years.
Busted, Starmer. So, as he said there, it's real fucking bad, to be honest. It's a way to control every facet of your life, and it may not be that initially, but eventually it will be that. And again, back to like the youth, and the youth need to get political, to be honest. This is where like Charlie Kirk was good in America, getting the youth politicised, so that, because again, it's the youth that'll be the most fucked over by this. Do you know what I mean? It'll be their lives. Like, at least I'm like 45, and I got 45 years of being free and doing what we want. Do you know what I mean? But these youngins, then they won't. The minute you come out of school, you'll be locked down, and you won't be able to do shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, the youth need to wake up. To be honest, that's who needs to wake up the most. Plus, they're the ones with all the energy, and they've got the fight in them. You know what I mean? So it's a real important issue, to be honest. This digital ID, and again, it's again like he's bang on in what he's saying. He's a very clever fella, Silver Fox, to be honest. He's bang on in what he's saying. This is what it will be used for, to control every facet of your life eventually. And again, it's all for like the native population. It's all for us lot. That none of these people who they're bringing in, the Palestinians and the Afghans and all that, none of these lot have to have the digital ID. No. So it's a shit show.
It's nearly 5 years. And then Starmer's going, oh, I just had this amazing idea. Oh, it just came to me. Fuck off, Starmer, you lying. And you know the word I just said.
Cunt.
Now, the plans are supposed to be announced at the Labour conference, which is next weekend, starts. And it said that it will see digital IDs given to all residents of Britain, so that they know who you are, where you are, what you are doing, what you are buying, why are you buying it. And even if you're using cash, you'll still have to register your digital ID. So you go into Sainsbury's, you've got your food. It records what you've bought on the tab, doesn't it? And then you have to present your digital ID, you tap it, and they know everything you've bought. Oh, that's a lot of meat this week. And he's going, this will stop the boats. No, it won't. But I'll tell you what'll stop the boats. Putting the fucking military in there, you bastard. He is removing our rights, pretending it's to protect us, and at the same time, pretending and lying that he's only just thought of it. And yet it's been in the planning stages for 5 years.
Yeah, and we're paying them to do it. And we're paying them to do this. So it's been planned for a long time. Again, this was back Tony Blair first. I mean, it's not even Tony Blair's plan. That's the other side of it. It's not Tony Blair's plan. This comes from up high, from like the European Union and all the fucking United Nations wankers and all this. This has got fuck all to do with Tony Blair. He just was the one who unleashed the plan for them back then when it all went to shit. But it's back. The plan is back, because they won't give up. They will try to this till they get it, basically. But if this comes in and we're getting loads of Palestinians, and what a shit show, to be honest. Like, Britain is fucked. Britain is absolutely fucked here. Like, we're on our knees. We're literally on our knees here. And again, I can't stress to anybody who's got like young kids or is young that if you don't wake up soon, there is no more England. There really isn't. It's finished. We're done here. We're done for. But luckily, there is, I'd say, 10 to 20 million people at this point who are kind of aware and kind of woken up and kind of want to fight and couldn't make it to London on the September the 13th, despite the number that was there. There could have been 10 million if everyone could have made it, in my opinion. Um, so maybe 20 million, 10 to 20 million. So that is enough people, really. But again, it's that these people we need to show that we're not taking any of this shit. The digital ID. I mean, I'm not happy with the Palestinian thing, to be honest. Everyone knows which way they'll go, don't we? You know what I mean? They don't like us. They don't like us. These people. This has become clear over many months and years. They don't like us. So yeah, let's bring a load of them in. Let's pay for it. We'll all pay for it, of course. Yeah, don't worry about it. And we'll all be poorer for it in the long run as well. That's we'll all be poorer. They can all live for free, and we'll just get laughed at by the government. So again, it's kind of time to wake the fuck up now. And we need rid of Starmer for a start. Not that it'll stop. They'll put someone else in, but let's just get rid of Starmer for a start. I mean, it's a start. I wonder what the petition's on. Hold on. Well, we're up to 916,999. We'll maybe stay here and see if we can get it. Yay! 917,000. Somebody signed it as we spoke. So, 100,000 to consider it, but they won't consider it. But again, this, if you get that up to 20 million, they kind of have to, the other parties might mention it, you know what I mean? Like, Conservatives might, Labour, I don't know if you noticed, but 20 million people aren't, only 9 million people voted you in. So if we can times that by 10, that's the amount of people that voted Labour in, that want them out. So go and sign the petition if you haven't. I signed it fucking 2 months ago, so I signed it when it was on like 600,000. So that's the current petition anyhow, calling a immediate general election. I'll leave it there anyway, peace.
In the face of the growing horror in the Middle East, we are acting to keep alive the possibility of peace and a two-state solution. That means a safe and secure Israel alongside a viable Palestinian state. At the moment, we have neither. Ordinary people, Israeli and Palestinian, deserve to live in peace, to try to rebuild their lives free from violence and suffering. That's what the British people desperately want to see. Yet, almost 2 years after the barbaric attacks of October the 7th, hostages are still held by the terrorists of Hamas. Recent images show the hostages suffering and emaciated. Hamas even refuse to release all the bodies of the dead. I have met British families of the hostages. I see the torture that they endure each and every day, pain that strikes deep in people's hearts across Israel and here in the United Kingdom. The hostages must be released immediately, and we will keep fighting to bring them home. Let's be frank. Hamas is a brutal terror organisation. Our call for a genuine two-state solution is the exact opposite of their hateful vision. So we are clear. This solution is not a reward for Hamas because it means Hamas can have no future, no role in government, no role in security. We have already prescribed and sanctioned Hamas, and we will go further. I have directed work to sanction other Hamas figures in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, the man-made humanitarian crisis in Gaza reaches new depths. The Israeli government's relentless and increasing bombardment of Gaza, the offensive of recent weeks, the starvation and devastation are utterly intolerable. Tens of thousands have been killed, including thousands as they tried to collect food and water. This death and destruction horrifies all of us. It must end. We have evacuated the first group of sick and injured children to the United Kingdom to be treated by the NHS, and we continue to increase our humanitarian support. But still, nowhere near enough aid is getting through. We call again on the Israeli government to lift the unacceptable restrictions at the border, stop these cruel tactics, and let the aid surge in. With the actions of Hamas, the Israeli government escalating the conflict, and settlement building being accelerated in the West Bank, the hope of a two-state solution is fading. But we cannot let that light go out. That is why we are building consensus with leaders in the region and beyond around our framework for peace. This is a practical plan to bring people together behind a common vision and a series of steps, including the reform of the Palestinian Authority, that takes us from a ceasefire in Gaza to negotiations on a two-state solution. We will keep driving this forward. As part of this effort, I set out in July the terms upon which we would act in line with our manifesto to recognise Palestinian statehood. That moment has now arrived. So today, to revive the hope of peace and a two-state solution, I state clearly, as Prime Minister of this great country, that the United Kingdom formally recognises the State of Palestine. We recognised the State of Israel more than 75 years ago as a homeland for the Jewish people. Today, we join over 150 countries who recognise a Palestinian state also. A pledge to the Palestinian and Israeli people that there can be a better future. I know the strength of feeling that this conflict provokes. We have seen it on our streets, in our schools, in conversations we've had with friends and family. It has created division. Some have used it to stoke hatred and fear, but that solves nothing. Not only must we reject hate, we must redouble our efforts to combat hatred in all its forms. We must channel our efforts, united together in hope, behind the peaceful future that we want to see. The release of the hostages, an end to the violence, an end to the suffering, and a shift back towards a two-state solution as the best hope for peace and security for all sides.
Nigel